What's up, crew?
Hey, guys.
What's up, Tony?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Hey.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
What's up, Dennis?
happy Thursday.
Indeed. What's going on, Dennis?
Hey, Jay.
How are you?
Good, good. Hey, just want to thank you for recording these. I looked at the Tuesday session last night.
Okay. If you need any other ones, just let me know. I'll send you the links.
Oh, okay.
They come in handy, huh? What I've been doing is going through them and just kind of time stamping all the examples so that I can and so I can get right back to them instead of searching for them.
Yeah.
What you eating, man?
Dinner.
You know, she cooked a big dinner for him, man.
No, she ain't cook no dinner. You know, hey, let me see you now, bro. She ain't cook no dinner for him.
Yeah.
He for himself. Ain't no kids in that house. Tell him, Jeanette.
Chuck, I cook.
She cooked.
He ain't cook for him. You
You
cook.
want to know what I'm eating, big dog?
What you eating?
She cook for Misha, man. That's who she cook for. She ain't cook for you.
Oh.
I got, what is this, Jack? I got chicken.
Yeah.
I got sweet potato
Ain't no chicken, man. That's a hen.
and some cabbage with potatoes in it. If I fall asleep, y'all excuse me.
Shit, I might have to have Jay talk to Evelyn, man. Shoot.
Hey, talk to Miss. Look, she be at work and coming home asking me, "Damn, Chuck, what you cooked today?" I'm like, "What I cooked yesterday? Nothing."
Evelyn the same way, man. She the same way.
I'm like, "I've been working. I've been here working. Just because I don't go into the office, I'm still working."
Yeah. You working on your things, what you got to do.
She'd be like, "Every day, how much money we make?"
Hey.
What you got in the cup there, man? What you drinking?
Did Delos get in?
I'm in.
All right.
What's up, D?
What's up, man? How
Hey,
y'all
what's up?
doing?
Doing good, doing good.
All right. I'm trying to send something to myself right quick. I want to share with you all. Hold on. And I thought I did this already, and
Brother wearing a Scully in the basement. It's cold in your basement?
hey, man, it's 53 degrees in St. Louis, bro.
What?
What?
Yeah.
A little windy, but it's pretty good.
Look, it was 80 yesterday, and now it's 50 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
so-
windy yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So I wanted to start today off, and I'll keep touching on the cash secured put. So I just wanted to play. Hold on, I got to share my screen. All righty, everybody can now see my screen, right?
Yeah.
It's launching.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So I'm gonna just start today's. When it comes in, where is it at? It hasn't showed up yet. Let me see. Oh, here we go. All right, so I'm just gonna start today off. It's just a little 4-minute video that I used to watch over and over again when I was having troubles with trying to understand how the cash secured put even works. So I'm gonna just start this little 4-minute video. Just hang tight, y'all. And I'm gonna let it play. Everybody can see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody can see it. Now, give me a second. Okay, just sit it right there. All right, so the name on the screen, I stopped right here, right? Because this is another source. Has anybody ever heard of the Options Industrial Console?
No.
No.
write the name down. Go do a little homework.
Mhm. Mhm.
All right, everybody got it?
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna start this video. It's only like 4 minutes and some change. We're gonna watch this first, and then we'll get into a few other things. So I'm gonna just go ahead and start the video now. Can you hear it?
Is
Can
it?
everybody hear the video?
No, we can only see it.
Yeah.
So you can't hear the video?
No.
No.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Can you hear that?
No.
No. No.
Okay, can't hear it. Okay. All right. So what I'll do is let me I will send this video out then.
Okay.
I will send this video out to everybody. I thought maybe you would be able to hear the video, but I'll get it out to everybody. So
Oh, is that the
log in.
title? Is that the title down there? The Options Industry Council. Yeah, I can look it up myself.
This
Yeah.
is it right here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but I'll send the video out so you get this one. It's pretty good video.
Okay.
Not sure why I can't share the video. Hold on, let me see.
Hmm.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna see. Well, so I'm not holding anybody up. I'll make sure everybody get the video right after the call.
Okay.
All righty, let me log in here. All right. So Tony, you didn't get a chance. Did your account clear today?
Yeah. Chuck kind of walked me through yesterday, and it's supposed to clear tomorrow.
Okay.
He said he had to get verified, but he said since the market's closed tomorrow, won't be able to until Monday. So I'll do something Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what we'll do here, we're gonna start. Gerald called me today, and he was talking about a company called NVIDIA. So I'm gonna go into NVIDIA today just to show everybody a few things. Hold on. Okay. So NVIDIA is currently trading at 263.63. Gonna go to the options chain. Gerald brought this up today. Something that he brought to the table. So before I hit view chain, right? Everybody knows why they sell put options.
Correct.
Right.
All right. Because you don't own the shares. So you have to come in at a point. So that's your entry point, is to come in on the put side. If you do not own the 100 shares, the only way to get into the option is to come in on the put side. If you don't own 100 shares, you can never ever sell a covered call. No need to look at the call side if you do not have 100 shares of the stock. NVIDIA was something that Gerald was looking into. So for those that don't know what NVIDIA does, NVIDIA is the company that makes all the gaming chips for your laptop, for your laptop, for your Xbox and your PlayStations, any gaming device. NVIDIA is the company that has that chip in there. It's the magic chip. It's the way that Jero can relate to this. Most of the video games, like John Madden, this is how things become real. Like a video game did not look the same 10 years ago. The players, the accuracy of the attributes that a player has is more real life to the today's game than it was 10 years ago, due to NVIDIA. And NVIDIA is just a chip. It's a semiconductor. And so there's a lot of different semiconductors out there. NVIDIA is probably the best at what they do. We're going to do a peer-to-peer comparison on this stock. Good stock to have. We'll just go scroll down here. NVIDIA pays a small dividend. This one actually shows the ex-dividend date. So the first dividend that they offered, you had to own the stock by 2/27. So everybody knows what the ex-dividend date represents. That's the date that you have to have possession of the stock. So the ex-dividend date, you have to have 100 shares of NVIDIA on 2/27 in order to receive the dividend that will come out on the pay date. So right here, you can see the moving average. They're above the moving average, currently trading above the moving average. And then we're going to go into the options chain. I am going to open it up. So go into the options chain on the range. I will continue to go over all of these steps every day. I mean, every twice a week. So you get familiar with the buttons. As soon as you go into the options chain, the first thing you want to do is go into the range and select all. All opens up all the contracts that are available. So we don't want to go 50 days out. So NVIDIA currently is not, so the 15th is their next, the next options week, and then next Friday. So to look at NVIDIA, I'm gonna play a little game here. So NVIDIA is trading at, currently trading at, to go back to the top, and the week just ended because it's Good Friday. So all contracts from the week before have expired. Everybody understand that?
Yep.
So 0 days to expiration. Normally that would be 1 day to expiration, but since there is no, the market is closed tomorrow, 0 day ended today. All right, so we're gonna do two things today that we haven't done in the past to kind of give a person their own entry and exit points. So the stock is currently trading, after market is currently trading at 262.81. Everybody see that up there?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Okay, let me see. All right. So uh-oh, I lost my view. Hold on. Okay, there we go. All righty. All right, so down here, and you can look at it, it looks enticing, right? So you got on the bid side, because you are the seller of the contract, no need to look at the ask prices because you are not the buyer of the put option. And why did that leave again? Hold on. My computer is acting crazy. All right, so we're back. Okay, so here you see we have 247, 245, 242, 252, 255, 257, 260, 262. Now, what I want you all to notice here is they do not go back dollar for dollar. They are going back $2 at a time. And in the case of this, from this move to that move, $2.50 at a time. Can everybody see that?
Yep.
All right. From here to here, they do another $2, and from here to here, they do another $2.50. So they're not skipping from 262 to 261 to 260 to, good Lord. I think my screen got a crack in it. I think it's voice activated. I'm trying to figure out how to cut that off, but so may have to do this a few times. So with what you see there, right? It's not going from 262 to 261 to 260 to 259 to 257, so on and so forth.
Right.
So you can see the premiums here, right? So people are gonna come in and somebody say, hey, I'll leverage here. We're gonna pick on 247, the 247 put. And the part of the magic here is somebody says, well, Delos not around. I want to play around in this, did their fundamental analysis, all looks well. Nobody here to tell me what to do. So a little trick that I had taught myself back when I was walking through the woods, you see that at 262, you can collect $1,180 if you're leveraging the $26,000, which is closest to the strike point. Everybody should know, or everybody will know by the time, as things progress, these first three are in the money. After the first three, everything outside of that is considered out of the money. So what you have here is a strike price, and I'm gonna pick on, I think I said 247, $24,750, right? You're gonna collect a $650 premium. And so Delos is not around, Chuck's not around, Dennis is not around, Jeanette and Gerald are not around. You all have to fend for yourselves. And so you go make a decision, right? So we're gonna go back to the chart. And so what I want everybody to look at here is how much on average does this stock go up or down per day? So it's a two-part question. So today, everybody see that it went down $4. There is 5 days in a week. The first part of this question is, if the stock went down $4 per day times 5, what price would it be at the end of next week?
242.
242. So let's go back to the chart. If you looked at that in that fashion and you picked a 247 strike price, do you think you would be good to go and leverage that money, knowing that even if the stock fell $4 a day, 5 days in a row, it still would not hit you?
That wouldn't be the case.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So leveraging, well, actually I said that wrong. Hold on. Am I on the right? Wrong. My computer's jumping around. Okay. So at 247, if the stock moved down $4 a day, 5 days, you guys are saying, hey, Delos, it's gonna fall behind us. It'll fall on our head, right? So it is gonna end up in this range, right? You all agree?
Yeah.
But that is 5 days of losing trades. Now, part two of the question is, that is the worst case scenario.
Right.
5 days of a stock losing $4 a day. Now, let's say that you get 4 days of a losing trade at $4 and one positive trade of $4 in a 5 day period. Where would the stock end then? I'll give you the answer. You're gonna lose. It's gonna back down on you. $16.
16 minus 162.
16. So we can do the math.
226.
So no, it's gonna back down 16 points. So we're gonna take 262.
Yep.
Minus 16. So it's gonna, in 4 days of a losing trade, 246 is where it's gonna fall, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're right in here.
Mhm.
Now, the one day that it didn't fall, it actually moved up $4. What
Yeah,
is
250.
what is $4 from 246?
49.
49. So now we're right in this point, right?
Mhm.
Correct.
So from just hearing that, 4 bad days, 1 good day. So we established 5 days. We established 5 days of a losing trade will put it below put it in the 242 range, right? We agree with that?
Yep.
That's 5 days.
Mhm.
That's 5 days of loss.
Mhm.
But just 1 day of gain out of 4 days of losses puts you back at 245, 247. So because the stock is trading and moving around $4 a day, if I had to make this trade with no guidance at all, I would be at the 240 strike.
240, yeah.
Everybody understand how we came up with that?
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at 242, yeah.
So based on 5 days of a losing trade and based on 4 days of a losing trade with 1 day of gain, a 140 strike price would be a safe bet. And that was just an analogy. Now, because the stock moves a lot, is why you want to go back even further. And a strong indication that the stock move a lot is the market maker skipping numbers.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's why I started with that. When the
Okay.
market makers start skipping numbers and don't go back by one, that stock moves a lot. As an example, we'll go to play. Now keep in mind what we just talked about. Going to go to play. Uh-oh. Come on. Gotta move this around. All righty. I'm going to put play in here. Play is Dave and Buster's. And as time goes on, you'll be popping these numbers, these names in here, these acronyms in here, just like me. All right, we're gonna go to this option chart, right? Now, you can put a comparison to it because we're gonna go here, hit all, new chain, 8 days out. And as you can see, they chopped it down on play even more. They're going down by 50 cents. So they're not even doing full dollars. The reason being, play only moves maybe $1 and some change a day. So knowing that, say if you had four losing trades, 4 losing days of trade or 5 losing days of trade, there's a possibility that now that play, let me pull this back up. Not sure why in the heck is that doing that, but you can kind of see 8 days out that there's a possibility that if you bought any of these strike prices, there's a strong possibility that they may land on you.
Yeah.
And when you go to the chart, you can go to now we'll go to play's chart, right, and just see, is this $1.87 just a play on news coming out today from president, governor, CEO of the company. So as you can see, and we'll go to we don't want to go so far out because we know what this dip was, right? This fish hook is in play. So we kind of know what caused that drop. So let's just go to a 5-day because you can also move your chart to 5-day where you can actually do the full analysis. So let's look at it. On Monday, you're trading right around I guess it was right around the $10 mark. Move this around. Crap. All right, hold on. All right, there we go. All right. So it was trading right around the $10 mark. And as you can see right here, you have a green bar, green bar, green bar, red bar smothered by two more green bars up above the 200. That lets you know right there on Monday kind of where the stock, what motion this took. Then you had a drop in the market. Then as it starts to go up, you started to see more and more green bars smothering red bars. As the green bars smothering red bars. As it went up again, it kind of leveled off and it almost traded sideways all week long.
Hey, Delos.
Yes, sir.
Just watching that video again from Oliver, I was reminded that he was talking about what he called the picture of power, and it only happened once a day or so. And that explanation was when the lines crossed. So that 200 and the 20 right there, yeah, crossed. And he said, you want to live near that picture of power. Have you found that? So do we focus on picture of power, or do we focus on, would you say, fish hooks, or is that even valid? Because he kept talking about finding that window, and he said it happens every day, and that he live in the picture of power. But I just hadn't been in here enough. I was looking at it last night to see how consistent, just looking at these charts, has it been. And I found a lot of consistency, but not every time.
Right. So the picture of power is, I would use that over the candlesticks. So when you say the picture of power, at this moment right here,
yeah.
So I may not look at it daily like he does, because his strategy is a little different, because he's a day trader.
Yeah.
So they're buying and holding and selling on the, selling downstream. But on Tuesday, this moment right here was a strong indicator, because when it crossed and you get into this, you can kind of see where that green line, the trajectory of the green line going up. That's a strong indicator during the week that the stock is going to go north. You have a put contract. You should be safe with your put contract. But this is the picture of power that he talks about. Now, when he's talking about a daily chart. So let's see if the picture of power happened today. We'll just go to a 1 day.
Okay.
And see in the screen, G, the reason why I have to look at it as a 5-day scale as a put trader is because the picture of power didn't happen in this screen for me. No. So he is using both. He used the picture of power that he picked up on Tuesday, along with candlesticks like this situation that caused him to buy. As soon as this happened, he sold again. And as soon as this happened, he bought again. But that's his strategy. And you have to take out a lot of times when you're doing analysis, you have to take out the things that only relate to you. Because like I said, the wilderness is so vast that you get caught up in a day trader strategy, but you're not a day trader.
Right.
So you have to keep in mind, hey, I'm selling a put. So my indicator happened back here, right there. And you'll see, and Dennis and I we didn't make a mistake, but we kind of got in the game a little early when I was telling you about Boeing. We got in. Dennis got in that trade early, and it was kind of my bad because I was on the phone with him. But you can kind of see you almost kind of want to wait a day or wait to the end of a day to kind of see where things are going to play out, because it's like a car. It's like a journey, G. So you don't really when you're leaving your exit destination. Sometimes you don't want to stop off and eat right away. You may want to stop and drive for a few hours, then pick you up something to eat to kind of help you get through. If you stop off too early, then you may cut your journey. Journey may be a little longer because you got to stop off and use restrooms and dispose of yourself and things of that nature. But it's beneficial to kind of let some time go by on Monday morning before you get into a trade. That's just something that I continue to learn. I have to continue to tell myself the same thing, because you can get into a trade too early and thinking that, hey, I'm missing out on something when you're really not. The big game may come later and down the line. And I say, hey, right before lunch or maybe after lunch, you reassess where things are and then you make a decision based on that. But
what we've been finding this week, because we did go into it, I think that was early Monday morning, looking at those overnight numbers, and we was like, man, we just gonna jump on this. And it didn't happen. Like we found those market makers don't really adjust the market till like 30 minutes after the market opens. So you'll see a physical shift in those put numbers, the bids and the ask. The other thing about that, about the red team and the blue team candles for that Oliver was talking about, is I really see it more beneficial almost at the end of the day, where you can kind of zero in on the graph and begin to get, is it a fish hook down, or is it being smothered up or down? Yeah. And you kind of take a pick of, what's your strategy for the next day if you're trying to enter the market with contracts or whatever.
Yep. And the reason for that, G, is why you see that at the end of the day, because they got to let some data get out in front of them. Going in at 8:30, there's no data. There's nothing there for you to analyze, because nothing has happened yet. And so to mention that, like when you look here, this is the 8-day expiration, right? And what Gerald is saying is these numbers are going to get readjusted come Monday morning at 8:30 for everybody. 9:30 Eastern time, 8:30 Central time. So there will be a readjustment immediately as soon as the market opens. So you just keep in mind that those numbers will change. The market makers will change that. And that's what Gerald is speaking to for everybody that's kind of wondering what he's talking about. These numbers right here, we're looking at them on the last day of expiration, but all these numbers will get readjusted according to how they preload the market with orders come Monday morning. And when you talk about the weekend effect, you kind of get some type of sentiment as to where things may fall. And what I would like to say is too, like, so I have an email into TD Ameritrade just to figure out if there's a way for us to do pre-market buys so that we can get these numbers instead of waiting for the market to open. Is there a threshold as far as, do we have to have any special certification to buy pre-market like we see? When those bars are rolling across the screen in the morning on channel 46 and you see the stock is already up $3 and you ask yourself, well, how is it up already? Those numbers are already, those are contracts that people are already putting out there that we may try to get involved in that as well. But I'm just waiting on a response to my email to figure out if there's just, hey, we just need to contact TD Ameritrade to get permission, or we don't have enough cash to be engaged in that activity. But I do have that out there. Hopefully they'll respond here over the weekend and let me know, because they are 24/7. So you can call TD Ameritrade on Sunday at 3 in the morning and somebody will answer.
Okay.
So I want to just take a few minutes, right? I know, Tony, you haven't been engaged, but I'll start with Chuck. Chuck, if you can kind of share with the team, I call it your week 3, but it's actually week 2 for the month. So far, what your success has been, and if you've lost money, say that too. Just be transparent with the team. But I would like for you to share your 2-week experience with everybody on the call.
All right. Well, as of right now, I think post-market is still going on with RCL, and I'm trying to see where we ended up at, and it's still moving. So it's at right now 41.80, and so it looks like they're gonna buy those 100 shares back from me from RCL. So where I ended up this week, I think, as a whole in total in my time that I've been here, I'm a little bit over $1,000. I think 3 weeks in. And if this goes through, then it'll add in an additional 150 for the appreciation. So I'll probably be a little bit over 1,100, close to 1,200.
So everybody, Chuck has made $1,200 in a 3-week span. We'll include weeks 3 and 4. But that's not bad for where Chuck came in at. So if Chuck goal is 1,500 for the month, it seems like he may be on target to hit that. That's a good goal to have starting out, $1,500 your first month in. Hasn't lost any money. He's played the strategy like he should. He's stayed within his guardrails, and he's been pretty successful at doing that. So
I got a question for you, yo. How long does the post market go?
So that's a good question. So they removed due to the COVID-19, they removed all of the floor traders off of the floor. So all of those guys that normally would be in taking those orders are now working from home. And then it's just some of that data is just slow to come in. So due to the fact that everybody's working remote, I don't know if any of you watched the stock exchange on Channel 46 during the day, but they have now taken all those floor traders and made them work remote. So a lot of the orders are trickling in after hours because they just have an influx of orders without all the tools that they normally would have if they were at the site in New York City on Broad Street. All right, Dennis, I'm gonna pick on you. So Dennis, we're gonna call this week 2 for Dennis too, and then Dennis 2-week period. Dennis, I'll kind of let you speak to your number, and if you're having a hard time finding it, Dennis, it should be, well, you and I discussed it, but it's let me go to it. It should be under balances. It should be available funds for trading would be your capital that you've made these last 2 weeks.
I added some money. Basically, I've made about, I calculated that at about $1,400.
Right. So in 2
This
weeks, okay. So Dennis collected $1,400. He's also probably going to have his shares called out for Boeing, which will add another $700 to that $1,400 total. So Dennis is probably at this point with his Roku trades and with his Boeing trades, Dennis is probably going to be a little bit over $2,100 for the 2-week period. And that's not a bad. So Dennis is kind of on track for a $4,000 month, which is awesome. And with Chuck and Dennis' success, it makes me feel good. Tony, I can't wait till you get in and start chopping it up a little bit too. But that's a good step, and it's only going to get better if you just stick to the process and not get too greedy and get too close to the strike point. So just to let you know, the only way you can really just get beat up is to be not paying attention and getting too close to the strike price. Unless it's something you really just want to own, then that's fair. But both of you have done good in week 2, and we'll do the same thing in week 4 so that we can get everybody monthly totals and kind of share those success stories with everybody on the call. So Gerald and Jeanette, you're up next.
We have been in it a week yesterday, and we have made almost $400.
Okay. Whoop, whoop. Does that include today's
Yes.
contracts? Okay.
Yes.
And so Gerald and Jeanette has shared with me that they are probably looking at putting in more.
We did. We did.
Okay, so it's already there. And so my suggestion to them is the same thing I talked to Dennis about, and Tony, the same thing I'll be talking to you about is Bourne is a good play. I've always liked their strategy, their company, and a little biased because their headquarters is here in St. Louis. So kind of like the company. They're a powerhouse in not just their sector, but in the world. I mean, if you know, they make airplanes, so we all kind of know how important their business is to society as a whole. And so Gerald and Jeanette, they're on a good target. They still got 2 weeks to go in the month. And when they initially started out, I told them that the $1,300 monthly target for the account that they was trading should be, that's the goal, is to just try to get there. And if they fall short, no problem, long as they not negative $400 since they started. And that's the positive thing, is just keep moving forward, keep chopping at the tree, and it'll happen. I mean, and in most cases, by the end of the year, these accounts are going to grow, and life is going to be a little different because you all take the time out to learn it and execute it, and not get too greedy. Stay in your lane. Make sure that your strategy is your strategy. Your strategy, I can get on this call, and I will twice a week, but everybody's strategy is going to be a little different, which is fine. And we can just share ideas and bounce things off each other as we all grow. So Tony, can't wait till you jump in.
I'm gonna get on Monday, do something Monday. So Gerald and Jeanette, you guys had the contract that expired today?
Yes.
You did, okay. And so you guys have mostly been doing Boeing. I know you did Dave and Buster's too, right?
Yeah, we were under Royal Caribbean, and
okay.
we put in a nice little chunk today, so we're going to pick up some Boeing next week and probably something else.
With the RCL Royal Caribbean, I think it's, what is it at now, Chuck? 42 potentially.
Might be, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because the other day, that's the one I was going to do with Chuck. He walked me through. I was going to buy 2 or 3 contracts on that, but I was going to do Royal Caribbean. I think it was 38, Chuck, when we were trying to do it.
So keep in mind, Tony, when we came in, we was roughly 5 away from the strike. I guess we were 2 out of the near money. Okay. And now that put us at the 28 strike price, and now it's at 42. So you saw what the market did for the remainder of the week. When do we get in? Anyway?
We got in April Fools. Hey, Missy.
Hey.
When we get in this RCL?
Oh, Monday.
We got in Monday? We got in Tuesday.
Oh,
I think we got in Tuesday. We didn't do nothing Monday.
okay.
Remember, we was looking at the market, and we was.
Oh yeah, Tuesday is when we got in.
We was up early waiting on the market, and then the market shift, and we just sat around and was like, well, we just do it tomorrow. So we got in Tuesday.
Yeah, okay, that's a good thing. Good thing you brought up, Jero, about waiting. You know, like so early in the morning. You know, kind of waiting and you know maybe like Dello said after afternoon. You know, hopping in late Monday or something. You know, kind of watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you want to make sure that's why Oliver. Hopefully, I answered your question there, Joe. That's probably why Oliver waits to the end of the day because he has to let some of that data, that buy-in data and that selling data, get out in front of him a little bit. There's no way to analyze a daily chart based on 8:33 Central Time, 9:33 Eastern Time. It's too early. You know, you can get the sentiment from the Dow implied open that I guess we've all been watching that since Jero sent that out. And thank you for that, by the way. But just pay attention to that. And all this is the real success of options trading is just pay attention to things that are going on around you. I mean, you hear it all the time. Most of these things you've been talking to your friends about, but you had no interest in the back office part of what was going on around you the whole time. And so, you know, how many people have talked about Facebook, you know, not having security where they're sharing your pictures with whomever they want because you uploaded them. And when those stories broke, Facebook took a hit for that. Like the public wasn't happy, but because you didn't have any skin in the game and the financial part of it, it was just a conversation you had with a neighbor or a friend, or, you know, you might have talked about Facebook while being on Facebook.
Well, like they're talking about now with Zoom, you know, the stuff that they're talking about with Zoom and stuff, you know.
And Zoom is gonna have direct competition with Skype and all the other people that's in their peer comparison. And that's kind of why I jumped to that last week, so that you all can start looking at, hey, I might like this company, but they might not be the best in their business. Like, I want best in class. And when I say best in class is, I don't want to buy Zoom if there's another company out there that's possibly doing better financials, have a better product. Zoom being popular, because I'll say this, but there's a lot of pump and dump conversations that go on YouTube and some of these other little infomercials that you see. You know, they'll pump up Royal Caribbean to get everybody buying it, and the next week it's gonna fall flat. And so they do that for a reason, because they have enough marketing manpower and dollars that they can spend $1 million to amp it up, only to gain 10 million when it fall down. And that's how big banks do. And so I wanted to touch on something, right? So you'll see a lot of this during this COVID-19 era, and Chuck brought it up. Why do you see all these changes? And I know a lot of you like, hey man, the market closed 3-4 hours ago. Like, what's going on with that? So if you watch in Channel 46, they've moved all their people to remote locations. So what these guys, when you look on TV and you see the trading floor, these guys have 9 to 10 monitors that they have out there. They no longer have access to that equipment, so they're at home with maybe 1 or 2 monitors. And so as these orders come in that they have to fill, it's just taking them a little longer because they're not in their element to process the volume any longer. So the market is going to continue to do this, and it may continue, I would almost say, even after they're back at the office, because people are going to start getting back acclimated to their office at you know, their permanent facility. So just keep in mind that, you know, these numbers are coming in, and they won't be huge, right? They won't be $2 and $3, but they will trickle in here. If you can see what I'm circling, they'll trickle in at 30 or 40 cents. So as an example, the closing price was $14.68, but because of the trickle-in effect, it's closing at $14.98 because these are just orders that were in the pipeline that the market makers had not processed yet.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Even though our options closed worthless today, we're still not seeing our original amount that we put into it in the balances. That's still the case.
Yeah, that will probably happen later tonight or first thing in the morning.
Got it. Okay.
Yep, and then your full balance will appear under. And Jeanette, I'm going in here now. It will appear under available funds for trading. It'll show up right there. So would you, Chuck. So would you, Dennis. It's gonna show. So Dennis, you'll have an additional $700 either here tonight or first thing tomorrow morning. The market is closed, but TD Ameritrade is not.
So, hello. If they 100 shares of Boeing to me at 13,200, now will that go into my available funds for trading also?
Correct.
Okay.
So it'll be you originally purchased them at 12,500, and what Boeing is going to put in your account is 13,200, and that is your $700 appreciation difference in what you purchased them at versus where you sold them.
Right.
Yep. So specifically, does anybody have anything in particular that we got 7 minutes. I'm gonna try to keep everything to an hour, but so does anybody have anything? And I'm gonna send that video out for you all to watch and just keep it, watch it. Is there anything else specifically anybody want to talk about? Anything you want me to go over again? Calendar?
Can we look at a NVIDIA peer-to-peer? I think he was gonna get into that.
Yep, gotcha. And you'll start popping these acronyms in here just like you see me do. Some of this stuff I just know. NVIDIA peer-to-peer comparison. I'll come back. So as you can see here, you got Intel Corporation, which we kind of knew. This Broadcom, don't know a whole lot about Broadcom, but they got $104 billion in market cap, so they're doing good business. Texas Instrument, let me see, let me move you over here. AMD. Now AMD is an up and comer. AMD is in the minor leagues right now. AMD is a good company. AMD is probably going to be right there with Intel here within the next 6-7 months. I would say by the end of the year. AMD, if you guys go in AMD, they got a bunch of good products that they're rolling out. They're also trying to make a graphics chip. So if you look at NVIDIA, this is it, and I'm gonna highlight this. This right here is the reason why they are the best. NVIDIA makes this graphic processing unit. That is, when you watch a game and it looks so real that it looks like we're looking at each other right now, that is because they make that happen. They also have probably one of the best of this. So when you're looking at, so you got to look past what you see and dig into a little bit of what you may have seen. So what this does right here, anybody ever seen those robots? And anybody ever seen a Amazon commercial and you see all those robots moving around?
Yeah.
That's an NVIDIA chipped robot.
You say Gerald, they had Madden also. They got Madden, the chips.
Yeah, they are a true producer of that. And since if you guys got extra time, I'll go like 20 minutes over. We'll hard stop. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about something that happened in the news today. Amazon, due to the COVID-19, came out today. It says, hey, we're going to stop some of our outsourcing, meaning they're going to stop using FedEx until this is all over. Because even though FedEx is a self-insured company, they have enough money to pay for any cases that come up, any lawsuits, anything of that nature. Amazon said, we're going to hold our own faith until we know what's going on. So I'm going to type in FedEx, right?
Yeah, didn't they say FedEx and UPS, I think?
And UPS, right?
Yeah.
So that news that came out today caused this right here. And anybody that got that news story at 8:30 when I got it knew to go dump whatever they had going because the stock about to fall on their head.
Yeah.
And this is gonna follow into Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I go to the summary, you go to FedEx, 72% held by institution. They pay a dividend. So for 401k owners, it's worth holding on to. Amazon will come and wrap their loving arms around FedEx and UPS again, just not right now. So the market reacted to the news from Amazon saying, hey, we're going to stop using them to do deliveries until we get this COVID thing under control.
So Delos, right there, man. When that news drops, is there a time where you assess the news and you say, okay, well, I'm far enough away in this hypothetical example, I'm far enough away from the strike point for it to drop, 3 today, maybe 3 tomorrow, next Monday, and it's going to level off because of the news that potentially balanced it off with the feds. So like, are we knee jerk with the public sentiment, or it's just a personal play subjective to how you feeling?
It's personal to you. A lot of what causes this, Gerald, is day traders. There's so many of them, so much volume. But for most put option traders, they don't react as bad as some of the day traders. The reason being, that was just Amazon's business. FedEx is still a profitable company. So if FedEx came out and says, hey, we're going to have to lay off 50% of our workforce, and it depends on where the news come from. So Amazon said that about FedEx. FedEx didn't come out and say, hey, we're going to have to lay off workers because of what's happening with Amazon. So sometimes you just have to take the news and understand, okay, that's just a tiny percentage of FedEx's business.
Yeah, maybe keep a closer eye on your stock versus dumping it.
And what I do is, when I get the news, I don't just go run and get out. What I do, though, is I set alerts. And that's how I play those news applications. I don't get out. I'm going to just set the alert. And when my alert go off and I look at my candlesticks, and then I have to make a decision. Do I roll out and roll into something else, or do I hold on? But I don't just get the news and bam, I'm out. What you see here is some day traders that reacted to what was going to happen, and then that's what caused the droppage. But you don't have these big guys getting out. This number not going to change because of that news. Your 401k is tied into it, though. And please understand this too. When people talk about mutual funds and all of that stuff, right? All these stocks are stuck in that mutual fund. They can't just go in a mutual fund today and grab those stocks out. So those stocks are still relevant. It's just that you are a put options trader and it affects you. It don't affect them. Right. Because what is their strategy? 401k strategy is buy and hold.
Long haul.
For the long haul.
Mhm.
The 401k strategies is not to buy and sell tomorrow or by Friday, because you are I ain't gonna say put options trader. You are a stock options trader because you're on both sides, calls and puts. If you're a day trader, that news affects you. Might not affect me. If you're a 401k holder, doesn't affect you. I can't go into the Fidelity 420 and pull out FedEx because of the news. I got to ride the wave.
Yeah.
So that's typically how I do that. But please note, the news will cause me to set an alert every day of the week.
So Delos, basically what you're saying is, like you said before, you got to look beyond what you see and don't just react knee jerk or just react to what you see. You have to look beyond that.
Correct. Yep. You gotta look beyond it, right? The company has got $31 billion in assets. They're not going nowhere. And we know who. So quiz question. Who owns the land that FedEx sits on?
Oh,
There
No.
you go. Jeanette.
Yeah.
Or was it?
So now,
Oh, yeah.
so let's go to O. O is one of my favorite stocks, man. And because did I share with you? So has anybody tried to go to an investor relations page?
Not yet, not other
Not
than what
yet. I haven't done it yet.
So let's just go to NVIDIA investor relations page, and they'll have some awesome information. You get to also know about upcoming products. So before the news even hits you, you went and got it yourself from the source, not from a YouTube page or a Facebook tweet or Twitter or whatever. And was anybody amazed at what Kroger owned? Did anybody know they owned all of that?
no.
That was news.
Right, because somebody might say, why I want to own Kroger? Because it's not just Kroger, it's Ruler and probably 50 other chains. Yeah, so so we went to Realtor. Let's see if we can pull up NVIDIA's. So NVIDIA's investor relations. Let's see what they got going on. So just on their homepage here, G, you can look up any news that's coming out about them, any events or presentations that they're going to give that you might be interested in if you're going to be put options in this company. They also have stock info. They have financial info and investor resources. So they have a whole host of things that you can go out before you make a decision to say, hey, this is solid. I'm okay with what I see. The premiums are good, stocks trading, I'm all in. And so you can go to any company's investor relations page and get more data than you can from anywhere else, any other source. This is the heartbeat of information for a company that you are investing in. I also like to say this was one of my mistakes. I tried not to invest into any put contracts that my 401k holds in quantity because I don't want to, I'm already investing my money through 401k into those companies. I don't want to necessarily invest my private funds as well. So what I would do is I'll do some of those companies that's in my 401k, and I try to, part of my watch list is maybe 10 that is not heavily traded in the fund that I'm in. It's hard to do because the fund, your fund in your 401k, it's got 500 stocks in one fund. So it's hard. It's easier said than done, but just kind of not have all your money in one Easter egg basket. Seeing that Easter Sunday, y'all like that? How I did that? All right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so when we have these sit downs, I'll try to bring more and more in-depth information. You guys twice a month share your successes. Um, Anybody have a question? Just send it out on the text or call me. It don't matter, and we'll get to the bottom of it. But there's a lot of a wealth of information out there that you got access to because of the way things are in our lifetime. Before, and I may have shared this with a few of you. The reason why a lot of people couldn't do this is because you used to have to go to the bank and find someone with a Series 7's license in order to execute this for you.
You had to go to an actual broker or somebody else.
Yeah, you would have to go find a Devin Alphen. He would have to write up the paperwork and give it to you, submit the trade to the people you see on TV in New York. They would have to execute the trade and send you a receipt.
Impossible, almost.
Yeah.
Right. Those days are over. You now have the power to make those same transactions. And the only risk that had ever existed is the knowledge that you had to make that happen. Anybody could take $10,000 and hop in a put contract and buy next to the money and feel like they've done something, and the stock fall $10 the next day and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And those are the stories that you'll hear because you're so anxious. Got the money, no education, or got the education and no money. And what we're trying to do here with these classes is put the education with the money.
To make the money.
Make the money in the same. And to be honest, there's a lot of people, you know, out doing this very same thing. It just takes it takes a little bit to understand all the moving pieces and parts. But I think hopefully me talking to you kind of simplifies some of the stuff that took me almost 3 years to figure out. But I hope y'all enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
Hey, check this out. So, you know, looking at the history, they were saying that the weekly trades was not allowed until, what was it, like 2005?
Correct.
And then when it came, like the next year, it was saturated. Like the numbers in the weekly trades are like really, really high.
Ridiculously high.
Yeah.
So did it only used to be monthly trades?
Yep.
Okay.
And above.
Okay.
At first, it started out at quarterly. It was
Really?
3 months.
Ah.
Then they went to monthly, and the volume increased.
Mm-hmm.
Then it went to weeklies. And since Gerald brought that up, I could share something with you all, but this is they have dailies.
Now that just the second part of my question. I was looking on like a scale. They had a meter of the most risky all the way down to the safest trades.
Yeah.
And you had everything on there, and I was surprised to see options was the second most risky, bro. So I'm like, okay, well, it's obviously some of these other strategies, straddling, hedging, all the other things that we may eventually do, but the strategy that we're learning, you can't tell me that that's volatile and risky.
Yeah.
Only because they say that, and I hope you get this as soon as I say it. I was in a room full of 80 people that heard that very same thing. Only one guy got up and walked out. 79 people understood what that meant. With cash secured puts, you got to have the capital to play the game versus anything else, right? So with what Dorian is doing, you can get in that arena probably with as less capital as you can with just personally just buying stocks. So
You can't.
they were just talking about the leverage of cash being the point where you got to have more capital to do this than you have to anywhere else. But what they didn't tell you, and what I heard in the room, was the option traders make the most money.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
No, they failed to mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you take a day trader, and he says, "Oh, I made $1 million this year." Options traders say, "Hey, I made 16 million this year."
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
And I'll tell you anything, G. Like the guy told me, everything you do in your life, if you think about it, is risky.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is.
And Delos, so what's up with margin accounts? I know a lot of people got margins, and you spending their money, only have to put 20% down or whatever. But to get verified, you have to go in with like $200,000 in your account or something, or.
And what is crazy about that? And so Dennis and Chuck could answer that question clearly because, and I'm gonna say this, a big red X for margin money. Use your own capital. So number one is if you borrow any of that money from them, they charge you interest on that money along. So your premium is not all premium because part of that is gonna go to paying your interest back to them.
Fees and commissions and stuff, yeah.
Commissions and yeah.
Okay.
Away.
And the other big fat part of that is that you don't have to have $200,000 in your account because they gave it to both Dennis and Chuck as soon as they opened up their account.
Oh, so y'all had margin accounts?
I had them canceled.
Yeah. Oh.
So Dennis,
we didn't even apply for it.
Didn't apply? Oh.
yeah. As soon, and you know what, Tony?
I applied. I did. I applied.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But Dennis didn't have 200,000 in there.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he did. I don't know, but
Yeah,
I don't think Dennis did. Chuck, they gave Chuck the same amount of money he came into the opened up the account with. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, I know.
They was trying to get Chuck from the start. They knew Chuck was gonna use the money.
So how do you know that it's not on your account?
You see it?
Chuck, can you talk to that? Can you speak to that?
Say it again.
How do you know that a margin account wasn't snuck in
Attached to your
account when you opened it up?
Well, when you fill out all that paperwork, they ask you, did you want a margin account? And I said, no, I didn't fill out. I wanted the standard account with just me having the availability to do trading, stock, and options. So then when I saw on my account that it said margin, I turned around and I said, man, they gave me a margin account. And the way I really found out, since Missy here, I ain't gonna tell you the real story, was because I made a mistake in purchasing something and I thought it didn't go through and I hit cancel, but what happened, it actually went through. So I overbought like 3 different accounts. And I'm like, I had to call him. I'm like, how did I purchase more and I don't have the money in here? He was like, well, it went in your margin account. I was like, oh, we take that out. And I think it was about 12 or 15 bucks that I took the hit on.
Okay.
Yeah,
But I had to get out of that.
I learned to. I had trouble when I first, with the margin account. They just gave me $80,000, whatever it was. So I had to learn to keep track of my money, separate my money from their money. So the trades that I would make sure I wasn't trading beyond the money that I had, because that it was automatically going to go into a margin. So after a while, I got scared enough to talk to Delos. I said, let me get out of this margin account, and I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Because if I tried to make a trade, to make a trade or buy an option or whatever, didn't have the money there, it would just not feel. So, just about lines I want to
That
learn.
margin account is gonna feel, boy.
Hey, they gave Dennis $180,000 worth of buying power.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. know what to do with. So, you know.
And I'm like, hey, just make sure you don't have that on. And so how margins account work is they'll loan you the money, and you better thank God your trade work out, because if it fall, they will go in and sell your shares to get their portion back, even if it's a loss to you.
Yeah.
You know what? Now it makes sense, man. It makes sense because I saw a TD Ameritrade commercial. You know, they run in high rotation, right?
Oh yeah.
I saw it and I paused it and ran it back. I said, Jay, look at this. They giving you like $600 to open a new account. I didn't understand it, right? But now hearing that, it makes sense, because I was like, we ain't getting no $600 to open an account, a new account.
Right. And
so that's the margin money.
Well, no. That G is a fee they give you if you bring over 6 figures to open it up.
Oh,
word?
Yeah.
Okay.
The margin is totally separate from that. Now, I do want to ask you all, how often do you pay attention to the word TD Ameritrade? How more often do you see it today than you did a month ago?
Yeah.
I haven't watched all of them. I be on
10 times a day.
Yeah.
I be on Thinkorswim watching.
Yeah, it was one on the day about Thinkorswim today. They were talking about it.
I
Yeah.
saw that one too.
Yeah.
They,
And so
the
like,
market's strong. They do a lot.
yeah. And so like, when you, I can't wait till all this COVID is over, so we all can maybe take a trip and meet up in maybe Vegas or Atlanta or something like that.
good.
Somewhere. We got to go somewhere.
Because when you get in the room, man, and you're in the room with a bunch of these guys, you're gonna see these guys ain't playing, man. These guys got moves, man. Like there's some slick guys out there. You know, and you'll run across somebody to say, man, I love the margin. And I bet you in his lifetime, he's probably had to borrow money to pay some of that back, because he done been hit over the head.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, thank you.
Yeah. And that was my first lesson.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah.
No thank you.
Yeah.
But what I'm gonna do is, if you all just text, hey, what you may want to over the weekend, as you think through a few things, just text, hey, just throw it out there on the text, hey, what you might want to cover for Tuesday. And we'll get that out in front of everybody so everybody can see it, and talk through that part too. I am going to email this video that I was trying to start off the meeting with, and it's a good clean video, easy to understand. Most of it you already know. Yes, but I used to watch this video just to because I didn't have anybody to talk to, so I used to watch this video. This is my favorite video, to kind of play it before I went to bed, and kind of like played it in my head over and over again.
I keep getting that.
And then I got it. So I'm gonna send that out right after the meeting. And G, I don't know if I got everybody email, G, but I'll share with, I know Jeanette has been a great facilitator of that information, so I may just shoot it over to you and let you get it out to everybody. But it's a good video, only 4 minutes long. Another thing I hate, I've never watched a 30-minute video. I'm not doing it. Tell me what you get. It's not that complicated. All my videos are 8 minutes and below. If it takes somebody 30 minutes to tell me how to trade put options, they don't know what they're doing.
All right.
All right. So anybody got any questions, anything before we meet Tuesday?
Hey, Delos, so we get a lot of mail from TD Ameritrade about the account and everything. Why we keep getting so much mail?
Are you changing your password, Chuck?
No, not the password, but you know, we had them take off
the margin.
Yeah, the margin. So that's probably what it is.
TD Ameritrade will notify you for the various reasons. You take off your margin. You change your phone number on their account. You edit any information. They will send you a confirmation just to make sure that was you that made those changes to that account. They will do that. I get the same stuff. If you go in there and put a P in between your first and last name, they will send you a letter telling you that a P has been put in between your first and last name. They will send you that.
That's good.
Good. Delos, you traded on any other platforms?
I have not. I came in on TD Ameritrade platform for a few reasons, right? So I did before I traded any real money, I lost a lot of fake money. And so I came in on it because TD Ameritrade, it was just something that I had that I could use that they let me come in and kind of play around with as like a toy. And so because of that, I was like, well, I kind of got used to pushing the buttons, all the pieces and parts. And so I just was like, hey, let me compare them to a Schwab or any of the other people that was out there. And so as I did a comparison, and then let me show you what I also did here, G. I just simply, G, went in here and did this here. And I was looking through, and I don't see this list here ain't good because I guess these are all the ones on the app. These are online stockbrokers. These look like apps. Anybody ever like Robinhood? Robinhood wasn't even out.
Not about Robinhood.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Stash wasn't out. I'm like, no, I gotta go somewhere else. But hold on, let me go back.
Yeah, Austin trades through Robinhood.
Yeah, a lot of people using Robinhood now.
Yeah. So I was trying to find. This is what I did, G. I came in here and I was like, so I was already familiar with TD Ameritrade, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Wealthfront, I didn't know anything about Wealthfront, but they got 5 stars. Their account minimum was $500. And this is nothing other than a peer-to-peer comparison.
Right.
Just like you do at a grocery store. You know, you like fruit from over here and bread from over there. Compare the bread and the fruit. Everything's a comparison. So then I said, all right, so I'm looking at the management fees. So they'll manage my account for free. This is pertaining to an IRA account like Dennis has, where he brought over a few dollars. He's going to let them manage his account. They'll do it for free if you open up an account with them. So you got Wealthfront. Didn't know too much about those guys. Betterment, they charge a management fee of 25%. Didn't know a whole lot about them. Heard about them though, just never dealt with them. Then we got Interactive Brokers. Now, Interactive Brokers, right? I was intrigued by them only because you can trade in all 3 markets, which is the European and the Asian, through Interactive Brokers. You can't do that with TD Ameritrade or any of the other people unless you apply for it. And it's just TD Ameritrade's way of protecting investors coming in with $500 and losing all their money. They would rather have you trade and get 65 cents per trade, be successful, and continue to make trades. That's how TD Ameritrade makes money. If you lose your money and close your account, TD Ameritrade don't make no money.
Right.
So TD Ameritrade, 5 stars, $0 per trade. When I first started, this was $12.99.
Wow.
They went from $12.99 to $7.99. They went, Schwab came in, which I hope to find down here below, which they're not, but Schwab came in and changed the game for everybody. Schwab came in and says, we're going free.
So far. Hey.
Then TD Ameritrade say, well, we can't lose our customers to Schwab. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to go free. Now, when it says $0 and you wonder, why am I being charged 65 cents if this is $0 per trade? This is $0 per stock trade. You're not buying stocks. You're trading options. Somebody has to facilitate that contract from your hand to the buyer. That costs us 65 cents. That used to cost me $7.99. So as you know, I wasn't a big fan of paying $70.99 plus buying out of a contract plus paying $70.99 to do that. That was a quick learn lesson. If you spending $7.99, you better know what the hell you doing, son.
Yeah.
And I wish I could say it in Chinese version, but I don't know the Chinese language.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a really quick question? So if you were to trade out off of like your IRA and instead of taking the money out and you trade it into another, you had just mentioned something about an IRA and I kind of.
Okay, so through TD Ameritrade, you can set up an IRA account.
Oh, you can?
Right. And they'll manage it, for you, just like Fidelity or any of the other 401k.
Like Edward Jones, because Edward Jones charges $34.99 a month.
You might want to get your money and put it in the backyard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't realize they charge that much. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you can either move it to Fidelity, or you can move it to, now Fidelity charges an annual fee.
Ooh, Fidelity. In my company today.
Or you can put it with, you can call TD, have Chuck call TD Ameritrade. They will put you in the same comparable fund that your money is already in today.
Okay, we're gonna do that tomorrow.
Check with Devin and check with the TA tomorrow.
Oh yeah, call Devin. Call Devin, exactly.
Nothing. Well, I'm with Fidelity, my company.
Right.
And that moved everything to TAI Crest.
Okay.
Well, I talked to Devin and he said that he couldn't represent me because we were family.
Oh yeah, conflict of interest.
Right.
Yeah. So talk to TD Ameritrade. They according to the website, they do so they have free consultation and all that good stuff too.
He can represent you, but he can set you up. Or he can direct you.
Yeah, give the vice and stuff, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm going to move my money. He done lost me almost $10,000 in a month.
Edward Jones?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't used Edward Jones since I was 18.
It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back. And then I start seeing all these fees. I'm like,
Yeah, that money gonna come back like a bald man's hair.
Watch it.
Sporadic.
Don't get personal now.
Oh yeah. But so G, to answer your question, I think Jeanette asked the question and then went to recess or something. But what it is, I did a comparison of all the different brokers that were out there, and so I just found out TD Ameritrade had 5 stars. I was already familiar with the platform. They had a great education platform.
Yeah.
Then they had that Thinkorswim that they had out there. So a lot of people think that Thinkorswim came from TD Ameritrade. Thinkorswim was bought by TD Ameritrade from this company right here that I'm about to show you. These guys here. These guys here invented Thinkorswim and sold it to TD Ameritrade. Wow. Now, if anybody, Tasty trades, right? These guys are super smart. They super cool. You can go on here and you can watch this, right? So they have a comedian, this black lady on here. Let me see if I can pull up all of their casts. So, come on, lady. So the Liz and Jenny show, they only talk about options. So they'll talk about options. Most of the strategies you've already heard from me, but a lot of this stuff they talk about here on their little show. Some of these videos are archived, so you can go back and listen to stuff from a while ago. So they'll have all these different things you can go on here and watch. But Tasty Trades is a great platform as well, and they have this. She's a comedian, but she's really smart. This black girl here, I watch her quite a bit. Let me see. Vonetta Logan. Vonetta Logan, she goes around and does interviews with a lot of different people, and they kind of talk about strategies, and they do videos, and she does these videos. But she's actually a comedian in real life, and actually a stock trader. Quit doing that. Okay, so you can get this Tasty Trade mobile app. Come on now, making me look crazy. All right, so this guy, Tom Sosnoff, right? He is one of the creators of that Thinkorswim platform. If anybody want to know what I'm talking about, it's that black screen that you get outside of the TD Ameritrade login. It's a whole nother login. These guys created that platform and sold it to TD Ameritrade. But you can also, so when he sold it, they started this other company up called Tasty Trade. You can come over here and listen to let's see what episodes they got. My screen keeps jumping around. So you can come in here, and if you just say you want, just type in what you want. You want to do put options. Let's see if it'll come up for us. Let's just see what they got out there. No episodes found on put options. That's probably not true because I just watched one.
So,
that's not true because I just watched one. Let me see. Let me take this out. Category. Hold on. So I guess they had a little clip here about is the worst over, kind of talking through the market. Some of these people are real close to the post, so they are professionals. But why am I? Hold on, let me move this thing over here. Archive 2020. Let's see what we got. Okay, move everybody back. So these are just some of the things that they have talked about here recently. That you can kind of come in and get some good dialogue while you're driving down the street. Cut on a little segment, listen to it. Just great dialogue though. They talk about a whole host of stuff. And let me see if I can get back to the home screen. Because this group is the ladies that I initially talked about. They do have, come on, how do I get back to the home screen? Let's see.
We can get that. We can get in here and play around with it, Dello.
Yeah, so when you, let me just go back to, did I get off something? Hold on.
Yeah, I already downloaded the app on my phone, so I'm gonna play around with it.
Yeah, so you get in here and play around with it, but these are the guys that kind of created, well, not kind of, they created that Thinkorswim platform. And you can see right here, if I move this out the way, basically this guy here, smart, super smart dude, down to earth, just real basic level stuff. He is an entrepreneur, options trader. That's why when I typed in options on his website and they say there's nothing there, that's not true. If you go back in, it's that Liz and Jenny show, they talk about it. But he's the co-founder of the Thinkorswim platform. He's the founder. They actually sold that platform to TD Ameritrade. But get in there and start looking at some of the, and matter of fact, here go one video. When I typed in options in that search bar, not sure why it didn't come up, but here's an options video right here. So you can come in and watch the video. They talk through stuff, and they'll bring in just like people right off the street and have conversations with them about stuff. So it's another good tool to add into your to your tool bag. But yeah, I just go in there and, listen to a couple videos, pick up on a few things, but just another little jewel giving you guys.
Okay.
Oh, I hope everyone have a blessed weekend. Enjoy Easter.
You as,
Oh, yeah.
you as well.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Same to you.
God bless and stay safe.
All right. Hey, Gerald and Jeanette, I'm gonna send you my, I don't know if you have my email address already. Just send the invites to that
Okay.
instead of Evelyn's, yeah. Because Evelyn,
Okay.
you've been sending it to Evelyn's and she's just been forwarding to me, so.
Is it still the Mike Alvin at Comcast?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
send it there.
Okay.
Hey, Delos,
Yes, sir.
you think the market stopped moving yet, man?
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead. Go check it, Chuck.
Let me see.
I'm just I'm forwarding this email to Gerald right quick.
Oh, it's like at 4170 something.
Send it to GJ.
Yeah, you just got it, G. Hey, G, make sure everybody get that in their email. It should be in your inbox here in a minute. No, the market should be done, Chuck. Those shares were bought from you today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
It worked.
Yep. Your contract, it should show. It should show. Is it showing?
Huh?
Hold on. I'm gonna check mine right quick while I got you. Hey, Dennis, check your positions and see if your contract shows 0.
Did yours show 0? No, don't look like it's been bought.
Not yet. But you can
Not
go.
yet. Yeah, mine is still on too. So just give it a minute. Just give it a minute, Chuck. It may be later on in the day, but the market is over.
I was just wondering because I'm like, is it still moving or what?
No, it should be. It should be wrapped. It should be wrapped up by now.
Or is that we ain't got that leverage money yet either, so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it'll be wrapping up. Just check it throughout tonight for sure in the morning, but it'll hit soon.
I just sent everybody the video, so you're good.
Okay.
All right.
We'll get a
Good
link
video.
to this recording out too.
Yeah.
As soon as it gets processed, we'll get a link out.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Appreciate everybody's time.
All right,
Talk to you later.
All right. Appreciate you, man. All right.
Okay.
Y'all take care now. All right.
All right. See you later, Missy.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Delos.
Uh-huh.
All right,
All right,
thank you.
Dello.
All right. See you later.
Bye, John.